Alright, today we are taking a journey into one of the most influential sci-fi adventures ever written, Edgar Rice Burroughs' A Princess of Mars. This is the story of a man who gets whisked away from Earth and dropped onto a dying planet, where he has to fight for his life, for a princess, and really for the soul of an entire world.
But here's the thing. Our story begins with an ending, an impossible one. The whole tale is framed by the strange death of our hero, John Carter. He's sealed in a tomb that he himself designed to be opened only from the inside. So right from page 1, you're asking, wait, what? It's a mystery that sets the stage for everything. And to figure it out, we have to go all the way back to the beginning.
So who was this John Carter before he became a legend on another planet? Well, the manuscript he left behind paints this picture of a perfect Southern gentleman, an unbeatable soldier, and kind of weirdly, a guy who claims he can't remember ever being a kid. He was, in every sense of the word, a man completely out of time.
Picture this. He's over 6 feet tall, carries himself like a born warrior, a classic Virginia gentleman. But it's after the Civil War, and he's lost everything. The only thing he's ever been good at is fighting, and well, that job's over. So, like so many others, he and a friend head out to the Arizona frontier in 1866, hoping to strike gold and start over.
And you know what? Their luck actually turns. They find this massive vein of gold. But this is the frontier, and nothing is ever that easy. While his partner is off getting supplies, Carter gets ambushed by Apache warriors. He's on the run, desperate, and that chase leads him right to a strange, mysterious cave, a place that's about to change his fate forever.
And this is where things get really weird. He's cornered in this cave, ready for a final stand, when suddenly he can't move. He's just paralyzed. At the same time, this low, eerie moan starts coming from deep within the cave, a sound so terrifying that the Apache warriors, hardened fighters, just turn and flee. Carter's lying there, helpless, and he feels this cold numbness spread over him. Then a final, wrenching pop, and his consciousness is literally torn from his body, leaving it there lifeless on the cave floor.
The next time John Carter opens his eyes, or whatever passes for eyes, he is not in that dark Arizona cave. Not even close. He's somewhere else entirely. Somewhere totally and completely alien.
I mean, can you even imagine the whiplash? He finds himself completely naked, lying on this weird yellowish moss in what he calls a dead and forgotten world. Everything looks wrong. The plants are strange, the sky is a different color, and he is utterly alone. He has no idea where he is, but he's just arrived on the planet the locals call Barsoom. We call it Mars.
Okay, now this right here is the single most important rule of his new life. Mars has way less gravity than Earth, only about 38%. What does that mean? It means that his muscles, which have spent a lifetime fighting Earth's much stronger pull, are now ridiculously overpowered. For all intents and purposes, he basically has superpowers.
And what does that actually look like? Well, the first time he just tries to stand up, he accidentally launches himself 30 feet into the air. 30 feet! Later on, when he's captured and his captors want to see him jump, he takes a real leap and soars 150 feet through the thin Martian air. That's half a football field. In that one moment, he gets it. He understands the incredible physical advantage he has on this world.
But, being able to leap over buildings tends to get you noticed, and unfortunately for Carter, his first contact with the locals is anything but a friendly meet and greet.
His very first encounter is with a 15-foot-tall warrior riding some kind of 10-legged beast. This is a Thark, and they are terrifying. Imagine these giant, green-skinned beings with 4 arms, tusks coming out of their mouths, and they just radiate this fierce, warlike energy. Yeah, Carter is taken prisoner pretty much immediately.
The society he stumbled into is, well, it's horrifyingly brutal. The Tharks are what happens when a civilization adapts to a dying world for thousands of years. They've thrown out everything they see as a weakness. They have no families. Kids are just hatched in communal incubators. Emotions like love or friendship, those can get you killed. The only thing that matters is strength, and their idea of a good time is watching something suffer. So Carter's position as their prisoner is, to put it mildly, extremely dangerous.
And yet, even in a place this harsh, he finds these little sparks of something different. There's Tarstarchus, this powerful chieftain who sees a fellow warrior in Carter, not just a plaything. There's Sola, the young Thark in charge of him, who shows him a forbidden kindness. And then there's Woola, a massive 10-legged Martian dog called a Kalot, who becomes his unbelievably loyal guard and maybe his best friend on this new world.
So Carter's life becomes this brutal routine of just trying to survive, using his strength to earn a bit of respect among the Tharks. But that all gets turned upside down with the arrival of another prisoner.
An incredible battle breaks out in the sky. The Tharks use these powerful long-range radium rifles to shoot down a magnificent airship. It's from the kingdom of Helium, home of the Red Martians. And from that wreckage, they pull a single captive. She looks almost human, but she's one of the Red Martians, the sworn enemies of these green hordes.
And she is no damsel in distress. Not at all. Unarmed, surrounded by these giants, she stands tall and she actually pleads with them, appealing to a shared history, to a better nature they lost eons ago. She is pure royalty, and she is completely, utterly defiant.
Her name is Dejah Thoris. She's the princess of Helium. And she is everything the Tharks are not. She represents civilization, art, culture, love. For John Carter, who has only seen brutality on this planet, she becomes a cause. Suddenly, his journey isn't just about his own survival anymore. Now, it's about her.
Seeing the cruelty the Tharks show the princess, Carter realizes he can't just be a passive observer anymore. He can't just be their jumping curiosity. He has to become her champion.
And here it is, the turning point. A Thark chieftain strikes Dejah Thoris, and Carter doesn't hesitate for a second. He challenges this much larger warrior to a one-on-one duel. And using his incredible speed and earth strength, he kills him. Now, you'd think this would get him killed too. But in this culture, this act of defiance earns him real status. They respect nothing more than skill in battle.
So now, the real conflict is set. And let's be honest, the odds are absolutely impossible. He's one man, a total alien on this world, surrounded by thousands of these savage warriors. And his only goal now is to save Dejah Thoris and get her back home to Helium. But how on Mars is he going to do that?
He does it by completely transforming himself. He uses his fighting skills to climb the ladder in the Thark society. He builds a critical alliance with the powerful Tars Tarkas. He masters the language, the customs, everything he can about this new world. And every single bit of it is for one purpose: to put together a desperate plan to escape and fight their way across a hostile planet.
After incredible adventures, after winning battles, winning the heart of a princess, and even earning the respect of a race of warlords, it really seemed like John Carter had found his true home. But his trip to Barsoom, it was never meant to be a one-way ticket.
Just as suddenly as it all started, it ends. He spends a decade on Mars, 10 years fighting for Dejah Thoris and her people, and then he feels that same strange paralysis again. He's yanked back across the millions of miles of space, and he wakes up right back in that Arizona cave. His life on Mars? Just gone. All he's left with are the memories of the world and the princess he loved and lost.
He spends the next 10 years back on Earth, just writing his story down, with his eyes always turned up to the night sky, looking at that little red star he once called home. And this leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? After finding a whole new life and a love like no other, millions of miles from Earth, will John Carter ever find his way back to his Princess of Mars?